I just got back from a 3-day work trip, so exhausted I could have fallen asleep right there in the driveway. But the second I unlocked my front door, something felt wrong. Nothing was out of place, but the air felt lived in, like someone had just been walking around moments before I got home. My suitcase wheels echoed way too loudly on the hardwood floor as I rolled it into the hall. That's when I heard it, water running upstairs in the master bathroom. It had to be my wife, Jenna, taking a shower. But Jenna never showered this early, especially not on a weekday afternoon. I called her name, trying to sound casual, but my voice cracked. No answer. I figured maybe she had music playing, but then I remembered Jenna hated listening to music in the shower. I started up the stairs, each step feeling heavier than the last. The house wasn't cold, but a shiver crawled right down my spine. Halfway up, I saw something on the railing, one of Jenna's hair ties, stretched out like it had been pulled off in a hurry. That was weird. In our bedroom, the bed was made perfectly like a hotel bed, not the way we leave it. And over the sound of the shower, I heard something else. A low murmuring like two voices. At first, I thought it was just the old pipes, but then I heard it clearly, a quiet laugh. Pipes don't laugh. My chest tightened until it actually hurt to breathe. I walked toward the bathroom door, telling myself I was just tired and overreacting. Jenna would never do that to me. We'd had our problems, sure, but she wasn't that kind of person, or so I thought. Steam was curling out from under the door, and it carried a smell that wasn't Jenna's usual soap. I reached out and my hand touched the doorknob. It was warm, too warm, and in that instant I knew. I didn't even hesitate. I pulled the shower curtain open so fast the ring snapped off the rod. Jenna screamed my name, but that wasn't what stunned me into silence. It was the man standing behind her. Her gym friend? The same guy she swore was just helping her train for a marathon she never even ended up running. He just froze like a deer caught in headlights while Jenna fumbled with the shower curtain to hide behind. My heart didn't just break, it detonated. I had to step back because I suddenly couldn't breathe in that room. Jenna kept shouting that it wasn't what it looked like, which was almost funny, considering I'd just walked in on exactly what it looked like. The guy tried to say something, but I just held up my hand and he shut up immediately. I looked at Jenna and told her to get dressed and come downstairs, that we were going to talk about this like adults. She came down about 10 minutes later wearing my old hoodie, as if that would somehow soften the blow. Her eyes were red, but I knew those tears weren't for regret. They were tears of fear. Fear of the consequences. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even cry. I just sat there and asked her how long it had been going on. She tried to say, this was the first time, but her voice shook so badly, it was obvious she was lying. I asked her again, my voice flat. This time she whispered, 3 months. 3 months. 3 months while I was working insane overtime to fix our finances after she lost her job. 3 months while I was blaming myself for her being so distant and cold. 3 months while she was telling her friends that I was the one who was emotionally unavailable. I asked how he got into our house. She said she gave him a key, but only for emergencies. Apparently, a secret afternoon shower counted as an emergency. I always thought betrayal was supposed to feel sharp and hot, like a knife. But this just felt dull and cold, like slowly sinking into freezing water. Then I asked her the one question that was burning inside me. Why? She said she felt alive with him. That he understood her in a way I didn't, and that's when it hit me. She didn't feel guilty. She just felt caught. I looked her straight in the eye and said, I'll be filing for divorce in the morning. Suddenly the real waterworks started. She begged, she swore she'd change, she promised counseling. The tears were streaming down her face like a broken faucet, but none of it reached me. It was like I was watching a movie of someone else's life. I went upstairs to pack a bag, and that's when I saw it. Tucked under my own pillow was an unfamiliar t-shirt. His t-shirt. In that moment, any lingering sadness I had just evaporated and turned into cold, hard clarity. I zipped up my bag and walked out of that house without even slamming the door. Outside, the evening air felt fresher than it had in years. My phone buzzed. It was Jenna calling. I declined it. Then a long text came through, a whole paragraph begging me not to ruin everything. But she had already done that. I stayed at my brother's place that night and slept better than I had in months. In the morning, Jenna showed up on his porch, crying. She was trying to hand me my favorite coffee from that little shop we used to go to, the one she never remembered I liked. I just looked at her and said, "Keep the coffee and keep the excuses." I got into my car and drove away. It didn't feel like I was losing my wife. It felt like I was finally losing the illusion of who I thought she was. And even though my chest still ached, something else was quietly blooming inside me. Freedom, a strange, painful, but necessary freedom. And for the first time in a very long time, I knew I was going to survive this. Maybe even come out better on the other side. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, you're not alone. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more real stories. See you next time.